Ye, this is Point Easy, coming in hard and off the cob. Coming with the flu straight from the battlefield. And coming with that heat from the damn street. This is PBNN, Point Black, National News, the late and the great edition. With the facts of crackbacks and the boom bit to their lying ass lips. Because this is what we must do. You know what I'm saying? The heat from the street, the flow from the barrio, you know what I'm saying? And much, much more. You know what I'm saying? Because we already seen one radio station that has complied, it seemed like, with the um, Biden administration, creepy Joe Biden administration talking about they're going to purchase radio stations in order to reach the Latino community. 93.3, you know what I'm saying, used to be a good station, and he sold the station to a Latino uh, group of people. You know what I'm saying? And they took over the radio station. Instead of black people stepping up, we should be stepping up and buying up those radio stations because, you know what I'm saying, we need to get more message out to our people as well. You know what I'm saying? They came over here and bought up 93.3, which was like a mixture of, old R&B songs and, old songs and some new. But it was a variety type station. It was called The Breeze. You know what I'm saying? The Breeze was the name of the station. 93 point, 93 point, excuse me, 93.3. And then when I called homeboy to ask him about what had happened to the station, that's all I was asking. But I discovered through digging in the internet that he had sold the station to a Latino company. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? When I called him up, he tried to act like he didn't know, like as if he had nothing to do with the station at all. Like he didn't even know it was the wrong number, the wrong phone number that I called, but it was a number on the internet that was put up there. So everybody that called him asking him what happened, he was shunning them off, telling them, in more ways than one, you know, you got the wrong number. I don't know anything about the station. Knowing that the people had complaints about that, and he had sold the station. You know what I'm saying? I guess he should go on the internet and he would have found out what the fuck happened. Don't call me. So we already see this bullshit in itself. So the Breeze is guilty of this shit. The owner himself, you know what I'm saying, sold the station to a Latino company so they could reach the people on a democratic level, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But it is his station to sell, and he can do whatever he want to do with it. But the Breeze owner should be ashamed of his fucking self to do something like that to the people without acknowledging that they were going to do that in itself. Now, today, you know what I'm saying, we see a lot of bullshit going on as well. And one of the things we see going on today is the fact of they saying in this matter, Donald Trump used the judges, I think the name is uh, I don't know how you say her name. It looked like Shakans or whatever her name is. Own words against her. This is coming in by Galita Carbonaro, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could see more black names as reporters up there, but I guess everybody is kind of freelancing. You know what I'm saying? Ninth, on the 9th, September 9th, 1823 at 6:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? But Donald Trump used her own words. But in the matter of them trying to accuse Donald Trump of some shit like that, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one, here's what we see. It says Donald Trump lawyers argue against on Saturday night, you know what I'm saying, that Judge Tanya, her first name is Tanya, last name S-H-U, Shutkan or something, Chutkan. She's the judge, I guess, you know what I'm saying, who's been assigned to oversee, President Trump federal election interference. It was no interference. She full of shit. And the interference was not done by Trump. It was done by the Democrats. but blamed on Trump, such as they did with the border. They're very good with setting your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Talking about interference. Yeah, about you, the even Democrats that set Trump up so he don't win office again. That's what we see. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? He's saying she's to reside over the interference case. Should, I guess, rescue herself over comments she made during the sentences of two January 6th defendants who probably got set up, or just to say that they did, and probably, you know what I'm saying, faking the funk and the part-time ride. Mm. Little Berry Blast, eh? Trump lawyers first filed a recusal, you know what I'm saying, a recusal, or a refusal, whatever you want to call it, motion to motion on September 11th, claiming that, you know what I'm saying, Tanya, the judge proceeding over the case, has, and that's bullshit, you know what I'm saying, has shown to have bias against the President of the United States in at least two previous January 6th fake ass Luciferian Baphomet 6 bullshit. You know what I'm saying? 6 feet apart, 6 feet deep, January 6th. Big 6 6. You know, riot case, according to the motion. You know what I'm saying? Tanya has, in connection with other cases, suggested that the president should be prosecuted and imprisonment. Yeah, like her dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Though she never directly mentioned Trump, yes, because she don't want to indict herself or take the case biasly. So she's going to try to slick talk like a demon Democrat usually do. You know what I'm saying? In the in their latest filing relating to the recusal, you know what I'm saying, motion, Trump's attorney used Tanya's own words against her dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? Referring to the time she said that presidents are not kings. No, they're not. They're not kings, and we know that. So what the hell is she talking about? We know they're not kings. They're elected officials again, and we have the power as the people in the Constitution to remove their ass if the people really get themselves together and know what the Constitution really consists of based on them having that power. You know what I'm saying? And remove 3/5 of a human being on black people in the fuck up Constitution. Sometimes that y'all seem to amend words into it that should not be there. You know what I'm saying? Because you have never scientifically proven any of it. You know what I'm saying? But referring to the time she, you know what I'm saying that President Simon King is calling for an unbiased judge, you know what I'm saying they kings, and, you know what I'm saying, and referring to, you know, the fact that they could call for an unbiased judge to oversee the president's case. Yeah, you need an unbiased motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Same thing I said with the Supreme Court. The public must have confidence that the President Donald J. Trump constitutional rights are being protected by a unbiased judicial officer. That's right. The president lawyers argue on Sunday, as reported by CNN. No president is king, but every president is a United States citizen entitled to protection and rights guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. And the 14th Amendment, somebody said, oh, he's not covered by, yes, he is covered by the 14th Amendment. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to make the world and dig into it and find some way to manipulate the document to fit their narrative to keep saying that dumb shit. And I read it, and it don't say what they're saying. The judge had used that phrase, which was originally written by who? Judge King G. Brown Jackson, another demon Democrat appointed to the Supreme Court. Before she was sworn in, she made that statement. Role as a Supreme Court justice when Trump asked to block the House investigation from obtaining his personal records. See? Yeah, well, let's get Biden's personal records. You punk, you know, stupid ass. You know what I'm saying? So we see where She's trying to weasel her way out of it. You know what I'm saying? She's really trying to weasel her way out of it, you know? And even when we look at this case coming in here by Fannie the Nutcase Wells, her crazy ass, you know what I'm saying, case against Donald Trump at risk of being blown apart. This is coming in by I guess Edwin or whatever, Palmer on 9/6/23 at, 9/6/23 at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? And we see here where the length of the Fulton County Fannie Nutcase ass screwball Wells, spiraling election interference, lying ass interference that you trying to blame on Trump, probably, in the trial in Georgia, because this is a whole matter of how the demon Democrats set you up. They're not just going to set you up on one thing, they're going to set you up on 90 something things to make sure that they keep you in court and keep you on that setup level that the world see you in a bad light. That's not working because I don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? And many people don't. But the Fanny ass nutcase ass screwball Wells, trial in Georgia may have knocked on effects of other, trials involving Trump, according to a legal expert. Wills, has stated that she intends to try all. Why would you try all 19 together? What the fuck is wrong with this woman? That's garbage. Each one should be tried individually as is. You know what I'm saying? As is. You know what I'm saying? Should be tried individually as is. Under her anti-racketeering, fake ass, chumped up bullshit using that law, and she know it goes to the Biden and the creepy Joe and all who was involved with them as to what they just did to the world, in 2020, calling it a pandemic. You fake lying ass. You know what I'm saying? As we see. But a racketeer, yeah. So what you call Creep Joe Biden and his son, sweet tearing, you know what I'm saying? But we see where investigation into the alleged criminal attempts to overturn, he didn't overturn any fucking thing, nor did he mention anything about overturning anything. He said save America, you know what I'm saying? Because your dumbass uses the system and the presidency and elections and con games all along the board in order to weasel their asses and stay in that seat. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? And they use these different techniques of scandalization and all type of trickery, even removing, a president's, executive laws and so forth on, just to make it seem like it's wrong. How is it wrong? When you just invited the cartels and you side with the cartels and every criminal entity outside of the American system, to bring in all types of people into our country and also had them in our country going all the way back to even when creep Joe Biden was lying his ass about he was a law this and lawyer and all kinds of dumb shit in law school and all kind of garbage lying shit that he did. You know what I'm saying? He's been lying ever since. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to these rich oligarchs and these people, they put these people in there and put them up to this bullshit. So they be the front person taking the heat, and Biden, Creep Joe Biden, volunteered that. And he even got caught up, I think, in a scandal not too long ago where the guy was talking about the murder of that girl on some big ass, rich ass, probably long out, and who knows, estate. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about these things and they try to normalize them so that we don't look at it, but we look. But then over here, you ramping on something that should be normalized. You know what I'm saying? It's a reverse psychology trick. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where, Wills, she's stating this bullshit, criminal attempt and so forth, to overturn the 2020 election together and has suggested her office is prepared to bring, proceedings as soon as October. Yeah, like your lying ass. You're a liar, a cheat, and a thief. Anybody that would lie the way she lied is a criminal in itself. So she has just tainted her whole practice, you know what I'm saying, following behind the Demon Democrats. That's dumb niggas for you, anyway. But we see Trump's lawyer, Kenneth Cheeseborough, and Sidney Powell, who were indicted along with President Trump, have moved to have their cases uh, served, served I guess, surveyed so they can be tried separately from other defendants, which is right. All three have pleaded not guilty. You see how they set you up? Till now you caught, because it's the same thing if you go into a building and somebody's there, you know what I'm saying? And you see the person dead and you say, oh shit, they might blame me for this, so let me leave and then I'll call the cops. But you're walking down the road and the person that committed the murder is wearing the same shirt that you're wearing. So on camera, they seen the person, but they didn't catch his face. You walk in with the same exact shirt on and you walking down the road and he accuses and they grab you and say that you commit the crime because you have on the same exact shirt. So it's a case of mistaken identity in itself. You know what I'm saying? But when you're arrested, you know what I'm saying, because they thought that you was this other guy with the same shirt on, when you're arrested, you can't, they're not just going to let you go. You have to go through the whole process. You got to get arrested. They're going to take you down to the station. They're going to question you, yada, 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 on the church until they found evidence that guy is just wearing, the guy that committed it is just wearing the same shirt that you had on. So it was a case of mistaken identity. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when when the demon Democrats set you up. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna set you up because when they put these plans, put the FBI, the CIA, and all their cronies out there to rush the White House, you know, along with other people and manipulating and the other people who are the real Democrats and patriotic, telling them to do something about it because you got a bunch of fucking people up here buck wilding, and this is not what we came here to do. We came here to do what Trump told us to do. You know what I'm saying? And the guy was screaming at the officer, do something because they're wrecking a national monument. And the officers just standing up there looking like this in all their red gear. Probably saying in the back of their mind, Chuck the Duck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi done said, told us not to do anything until it goes all the way through. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then they set you up. So now that happened, the easy thing is they could simply just blame Trump for that by using what he said on the podium, you know what I'm saying that he called for a cheat. That's the first thing. Then he went out there and he spoke to the people and he said, if you want to save your country, because he know China is already in this motherfucker doing garbage under the creep Joe Biden administration and the rest of them dumb motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? These oligarchs and these people who we don't see who's in there involved in this shit. You know what I'm saying? They sold us out to China. They sold us out. So they in here doing a bunch of garbage in our country, and Trump knew that. So Trump simply was just saying, you know what I'm saying, I was trying to do something, but I only had 4 years. Y'all believe every lie they ever told you about me, and I'm trying to help you, and I'm running for re-election, and you're letting the demon Democrats just simply walk away with this, and they're going to fuck you up. And that's exactly what they did. They cheated it. They corrupted. They cheated it. They even said things on the campaign trail that should not have been said by a president's mouth. But because everybody's 95% or most of the people were demon democratical licking ball suckers, they went right along with the fuckery. You see? Because in their mind, everything the demon Democrats ever said about Republicans and the Republican Party and so forth on and so forth probably pertains to them. But they use reverse psychology over many years, not just today. Because remember, Biden was a younger man when he was up there lying, talking about he was so superior and he was so smart. He's a dumb motherfucker. Point blank reads. I wonder if he could even read. You know what I'm saying? Now let's look at this here. On Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, Fulton County Judge, you know what I'm saying, Scott McAfee or whatever his name is, probably a Muslim, you know, was overseeing. He was well over. I guess whatever his name, Scott, whatever, will oversee the hearing in whether Cheeseborough and Powell can have their case tried independently. They should have it. There should be nothing to see. That request should have already been granted because with your fake ass lying shit. You want to try to bunch them together to get them out of the way one time. Because those are all the people who is putting up that fight, that good fight, as Republicans probably. So you know they're gonna try all 19 of them and get them out of the way because they know exactly what took place or what probably was going on and have a lot to say even more than we know. But tying them up in this setup, you know what I'm saying? She think that she's being smart. But she don't know that we know in Fulton County, Georgia, that they cheated the election. I don't give a flying fuck what you say. They cheated that election and they manipulate ballots and they did every fucking cheating thing they could possibly think of, along with the setup to keep our minds away from checking them ballots and checking the true nature of the true investigation that should have went into the fake ass January 6th so-called insurrection and the setup of this man's, even his personal business by Letitia dumbass James. You know what I'm saying? And then pushing all these indictments as well. Now, if you're talking about the election fraud, election this, election that, keep it there. Why the fuck would you bring up, you know what I'm saying, anything to do with this man's personal business in more ways than one? Why would you bring that up? That has nothing to do with what took place. So on top of the election bullshit that they're talking, they want to pile on top of that everything they could possibly find, which would be his personal business, his personal real estate deals, his personal company, yada yada yada. That's a separate issue. It should have not come up in any form during this time. And if it did, it was not to be mentioned to the American public. Now, when you're talking about documents, we could simply see that is bias in itself. Because Trump ain't the only motherfucker that took documents from the White House or even hid documents. Creep Joe Biden has been doing that from the beginning of his motherfucking career. Even hiding the murder of that girl and trying to clarify it not too long ago and so on and so on, doing interviews with a guy that knew this and a guy that knew that. You trying to clarify the murder of that girl, but that girl murder needs to be investigated again because I bet you there's a lot of discrepancies along with Creep Joe Biden because these people will sacrifice motherfuckers, you know, in their early days in order to get into the groove that they groove in, such as we see with many of these celebrities, rappers, and so on. You know what I'm saying? And then talk about sacrifice. You know, the only sacrifice you make it is your fucking brain and the dumbass shit that you do. Let's just be honest. So that needs to be investigated with the creep Joe Biden. So what happened to that girl on that land when they was out there partying and so forth? And Johnny tried to put the blame on that other guy. You know what I'm saying? But I believe creep Joe Biden had something to do with that. And then set it up as if it was so and so and so. You know what I'm saying? But we see, you know what I'm saying, here, you know what I'm saying, McCarthy asked Will's office to prove a good faith estimate on how long it may take to present the state case during a joint trial of all 19 defendants, as well as the number of witnesses likely to be called and size of the evidence likely to be introduced. You know what I'm saying? Fanny the Nutcase Wills, as usual, you know what I'm saying, sitting up there looking like Jack Two Bean, down there, you know what I'm saying, doing this dumb shit. So we know she full of shit. Then just like she full of shit. No, and there is no other way to really look at this. You know what I'm saying? We know it's a full blown setup. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So now in the series of posts on X, formerly we know Twitter, said, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Harry Littman, suggested that Wills will have to have a problem. She gonna have a problem either way with an estimate, seeing as her previous major RICO trial involving dozens of educators in Atlanta accused of cheating on standardized tests last last several months. Nobody wanted to hear that bullshit because you could say the same thing about creep Joe Biden, talking about he was in law school and then he dropped out and then he went back and lying about all kinds of other shit. Like he's so fucking bright. Like I say, I wonder if he could fucking read. You know what I'm saying? And where's your document showing that you graduate from this and you graduate from that? Many of these officials have never shown us their credentials. They just throw these motherfuckers in there because they probably sacrificed somebody or probably suck some blood or do some devil worship shit with them, and now they're using them. Especially niggas. You know what I'm saying? But if Will comes in with an estimate along the line of previous trials, 8 months or more, it will basically blow the smithereens. It would basically be blown to smithereens. You know what I'm saying? The scheduling of the various trials, Littman wrote, and hard to see how she can provide a good faith estimate that's way lower than the previous Teachers RICO Act. Recalling that the best preceding RICO for teachers took some 8 months to try and months before to pick a jury that isn't biased, you crooked ass. If she gives a similar estimate, everything gets blown apart. If she doesn't, the question will be why this one is so much shorter. Littman added. Now seen. You know what I'm saying? So we see where she's full of shit just the same. She's full of shit just the same. You know what I'm saying? We even got one here coming in on this clown ass, talking about this is coming in by Allison Quinn or whatever 9 hours ago Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Coming off the Daily Beast. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where Donald J. Trump in this matter. You know what I'm saying? They talking about. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump has reacted furiously to the months-old report that a group funded by billionaire donors Charles Koch raised more than $70 million to try to thwart his 2024 White House, run. And I believe it. Koch, a very, I guess is, his run, a very stupid, awkward, and highly, overrated globalist Charles Koch of the Koch Network doesn't have a clue. You know what I'm saying? The president wrote on True Social, bizarrely linking to an article from June about the efforts by Americans for prosperity action. They always use this American prosperity. We even see the same bullshit with this one here on 90.1 with many of the people that's up there speak. Every time they open their mouth, the only thing they talk about is how bad Trump is. You know what I'm saying? Every time on 90.1, the local station right here on Long Island at Stony Brook. You know what I'm saying? And we know why, because look at where they at. Stony Brook up there was sharing lying ass notchman. Talking about A systematic, B systematic, her clown ass. That's her brain going into over fucking dumb drive. So she's full of shit, just the same. She was put there to do exactly what she did and lie to the people all the way down. Getting all that TV press, talking all this lying ass shit. Nothing that woman said made any fucking sense at all. You know what I'm saying? at all. And the American people is to the point where, you know what I'm saying, they will listen to anything and believe it, anything that the even Democrats have to say, because that's how stupid they are and balls licking and following like a dumb monkey right behind them. You know what I'm saying? Now we're beginning to see many of them waking up, which is a good thing. And I hate to have to use that word on many people, but it is true. We're not talking about DNA when we use that phrase. We're not talking about your unscientific and non-finding shit. We're talking about the way you acting based on monkey follow monkeys. It's as simple as that. It has nothing to do with DNA and all that other garbage ass lying piece of shit that they've been doing for years. But we see a federal judge dismiss lawsuit against Trump 14th Amendment eligibility for office. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get that straight. This is coming in by 19 days ago off the, I guess it's called the New Word Port or whatever. You know, I guess it's a newsbreak contributor. You know what I'm saying? I put this one out and he put no name. I guess he wanted his name out there. You know what I'm saying? This is posted by Watts, you know what I'm saying, Noah report or whatever, you know what I'm saying, now report really, in a recent development, the federal judge, you know what I'm saying, Robert L. Rosenberg has, you know, dismissed a lawsuit brought forward by Lawrence Kaplan, you know what I'm saying, a Florida tax attorney, a lying ass piece of shit too. His name is Lawrence. Listen to his name, Lawrence. Hey, Lawrence. You know, probably LGBTQ as well. You know what I'm saying? But he bring this from a tax attorney. You know, the case, you know, aimed to challenge the president, Donald J. Trump, to be there, baby. You know, eligibility to run for office, you know, asserting that he was disqualified under the 14th Amendment due to his alleged involvement in inciting insurrection. No, he did not. And you still have not proven that to the people. So you a lying motherfucker. Lawrence of Olivier. You're licking them their balls. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fucking punk. You know what I'm saying? You never prove in any shadow of a doubt that he caused any insurrection, and all the people that were there at the insurrection was Donald J. Trump followers, because we still have evidence and a video of a Donald Trump loyal supporter telling the police to quail this shit and stop it. They were staring at the man like the man was El Stupido while he's screaming his lungs out. Look at what they're doing to a national monument, because they knew that they could not do anything, because everybody in that crowd mixed in by the hundreds and the thousands were either FBI agents, people they hire, people they paid, or CIA or Secret Service or oligarchs or deep state evil and all the rest of them motherfuckers put together. And they probably was there in such a big bunch that they probably either was equal to or outnumbered Trump true supporters that were there to truly protest in peace and be patriotic about it. You know what I'm saying? Patriotic and peaceful. You know what I'm saying? But Judge Renzen, you know, ruling center on Kaplan's lack a legal stand to bring forth a federal lawsuit regarding Trump and the 14th Amendment. The judge stated that the injuries alleged by the plaintiff was not legally recognizable and were not specific to them. Essentially, the court found that Kaplan's case lacked merit. Boom! Yeah. Now, Kaplan, take your funky, greedy, nutcase, twisted ass somewhere and go sit the fuck down and go lick Joe Biden's fucking ass, because you ain't nothing but a jackass. Now, Kaplan had argued that the 14th Amendment Kaepernick had argued that the 14th Amendment contains a clause disqualifying individuals who have engaged in it. That's why you keep on. That's why you made sure. But you know where you messed up at? You know what I'm saying? You use the word insurrection. Let me raise my hat to that one. You use the word insurrection. That was a dead giveaway. Got you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You use the word insurrection and rebellion. You got that from the Constitution. So you had to trump up a plan that would bring forth those words in reality to the people based on the accusation and the allegedness of the accusation that you alleging Donald J. Trump had committed. But you fucked up because you rushed. That's number one. Number two, Trump was smart enough not to say anything that would incite anything to do with what you're saying. Show me where Trump went out there and told the people, let's get it together, let's riot, let's tear the White House down, let's rip the motherfucker, let's rip the roof off the mother. You know what I'm saying? The roof off the mother, let the roof off the mother, and tear that motherfucker. Show me where Trump said that. And I'll believe you if it ain't, Photoshop and all the other third. You know what I'm saying? And show me where he did a rebellion. The only you calling him saying to stop the election because he feels that he's been cheated because he blew creep Joe Biden off the motherfucking map, and you hid that. You don't want us to know that he blew him off the map and he won. So you threw out ballots. You used them black ass niggers down there in the ballot house, and every other fucking idiot, including the Ocasio nutcase or Cortez, and the rest of y'all demon motherfucking lying son of a bitches. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you're over there planning to stick motherfuckers with some bullshit. All up the nose and get them the poison shot. Don't get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? So you was hesitant because we did not see anywhere, anyhow, that Trump did anything to make anybody do anything other than go up there, and you kept that out the news as well. Where he said, go up there, you censored this man's words. And you've been doing that shit the whole fucking 4 years of this man's reign as a president. And you were doing it even before he was a president. Following him around, setting him up with women, you know what I'm saying? And then you got, what's her name? Maxine Jackass Waters, another dumbass nigger, down in California doing garbage. Everybody in the neighborhood should be on Maxine Waters' ass for that cocaine shit that damn near destroyed the black community completely. Bundled up by Anthony Fauci, the killing weasel, mixing that and putting it out there. Now say he the one had a lot to do with that, along with Blandone, CIA agent, and using Rick Ross as what it was. Now I don't know if Rick Ross knew or the affiliation, but it came out that way, where they were shutting down whole neighborhood because they all was being hooked on crack cocaine. People were moving out the neighborhood because of the different crimes and shit that the crack cocaine had done. That's how they do it. Once the crack cocaine come in, dumbass niggas, rather than organize and centralize and organize and do this shit right, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one, they just go all out, fuck our people, sell that bitch, the bitch money making, you know what I'm saying, we didn't tell you to smoke, you know what I'm saying, we put it to your lips, right up to your lips, you know what I'm saying, we didn't do all that, you came and bought it for more, you know what I'm saying, and then they don't give a fuck. You making all this money out of the community, why you ain't building it up? All right. You know what I'm saying? But you talking about Nike. Okay. Now we see here he said it's disqualified because it did not have any proceedings based on any true legitimacy to his case. It lacked merit. It lacked merit from day one because Trump never said anything like that. So you garbage.